clothing brand owners, wannabe clothing brand owners, fashion brand owners, this is for you if you're looking to rebrand. Right now, currently I am in my rebranding phase. So I'm going to share with you guys the mistakes I made when I first started out with my original brand and the process I'm going through right now as far as rebranding and doing things differently this time and the right way this time. So starting off with number one, when I first started my clothing brand, it was more of like a passion project for fun I wanted to do. Right, I wasn't thinking of like the mindset, oh, I'm gonna use this as to like, grow a huge business and build a legacy, or get to a point where I can pass on that legacy or exit the business. I wasn't thinking like that. I was just thinking just for fun, passion project, and that's where mistake number one came in. I decided to kind of like do it yourself type of thing, where I literally bought a whole screen printing machine. I didn't start off with no like heat press or none of that cheap stuff. I myself how to use all that and how to do it the right way. Like literally, people do this for a business and make money off of it. And I think you can also go to school and learn from it for about screen printing and everything the right way. I literally taught myself on YouTube and through trial and error. I messed up so many screens, burned a lot of hoodies and shirts. Man, like I remember my lower back was killing me because I was standing there all day outside washing out the screen printing like the mesh, trying to wash out the image, and would mess up so many times because I didn't have like the full professional setup and everything. Man, those days were rough. It was probably like a whole year of like trial and error and learning everything and setting everything up, getting all the different tools, getting all the different machines, getting all the different inks, the whole process, right? Um, that took a lot of time. So starting off, man, my advice would be, I mean, it's cool to make it yourself, right? You can get content out of it, but at the same time, that takes so much time, so much learning. You're learning so many different skills. Meanwhile, you can just learn how to make a tech pack and send it out to a manufacturer, and they can do all that for you. And on top of that, you have the freedom to make whatever you want. You can make cut and sewn pieces. Versus if you're making printing the designs onto the clothes yourself, you're limited to only using blanks that you can get access to. Like you can only use generic shirts, um, generic hoodies. Yes, there are like oversized shirts and hoodies out there, but like you can't customize, like get cut and sewn pieces. Like you can't make a leather jacket and stitch on different designs on there. You can't make cut and sew pieces. So like if you want to grow your business and you want to stand out, especially nowadays in the clothing brand niche, you can't just slap on your logo or a cool design onto a shirt and hoodie and expect to stand out and do well. So I was also limited when it comes to that. One, I wasted time. I wouldn't say wasted time because I did learn a lot and it was a fun experience and I documented the whole thing on my brand Instagram. Um, but I could have saved myself so much more time, right? So that was mistake number one. And then also going that route, which goes into like kind of mistake number two, is you're very limited to what you can create and the quantity you can create because you're making it all yourself. Let's say you got a buddy helping you out as well, but like you're very limited. Like you can't do 100 orders, 300 orders, 500 orders. Like I was doing like 30, 50 orders, and that took time. You're making you press it on, and then you gotta put the little, what is it called? I forgot what it's called. Flash dry it, right? And that thing was expensive too, the flash dryer. And you just do it one at a time. And let's say you're doing both sides, multiple colors. It takes a long time. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, that journey was a struggle. I lost so much money, lost so much time, and all that did was hold me back. So do not make that same mistake. Okay? Okay, so next up. Number two. Now that you're using a manufacturer, you can sell as many as you want and make as many as you want. Like let's say you do a pre-order and you get 200 orders. You don't gotta sit there and print out and make 200 hoodies. Your manufacturer will take care of it. And now you can be super creative and stand out and make denim, leather jackets, knitted sweaters, knitted shirts. Like you can get so creative. And now you can compete with the bigger brands. You know what I mean? So do not make it yourself. Find a manufacturer, and then you'll have more options. You'll stand out, and you can scale faster. right? That's what it comes down to. When I was making it myself, I can't scale fast. I can't make 200 shirts all by myself. And I can, but that's gonna take a while. Like you're gonna be very limited, very very limited. You know what I mean? So if you want to scale fast, hit big numbers, don't make it yourself. I mean, later down the line, what you can try is like once your brand is big, but you want to just maybe buy a screen print for content, you could do that and make some fun stuff just for content. But as far as like growing your business, find a manufacturer. So in my rebranding phase, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm working on my tech pack, and once I finish that, I'm gonna go and find manufacturers. And if you guys want to see my process of rebranding, like me making the tech packs, how I'm doing it, how I'm finding manufacturers, just comment on this video, um, and I'll post about it. I'll probably post it regardless. But yeah, if you guys want to see that, let me know. For the one person that's watching this, another mistake I made was when I created my brand, I didn't have a specific target audience. I didn't know what they look like, what they listen to, what the type of car they drive, type of job they have. Like I didn't know the character. You know what I mean? It was very broad. I wouldn't even say like very broad. It just wasn't like a specific character, and that's one thing you gotta have. Because once you have a clothing brand, you gotta be able to build a community, and the person you're targeting, the group you're targeting, you gotta make sure like you know what their interests are. Just know everything about them. Like if I asked you to describe your perfect target audience, you should know what they listen to, type of car they drive, what they do for work, what their interests are. Like you gotta know all this, right? And that I didn't have that. So my brand was called Perfectly Imperfect, and this is gonna go to other mistakes I made as well. And it started off like having that very XXTentacion kind of grunge vibe, right? That alt vibe. Um, that was really trendy at the time. It still is trendy. It started off that way. Like I made this hoodie with the tree on the back. It had a great meaning. The brand had a great meaning. That's one thing I did well, but it wasn't. I didn't have a specific target audience, right? And that's something that I have now. After I rebranded, I know exactly what they listen to, what they drive, what they probably do for work, what class they're in. Um, like for example, with mine, um, know the aesthetic as well. So the aesthetic is like um, high end luxury streetwear mixed with old money vibe. So that's what I'm going for now. It's like that formal streetwear type of vibe, quiet luxury vibe. So that's my aesthetic that I'm going for. And the type of music they listen to, probably house music, R&B, maybe jazz, maybe pop, but mainly house music. Type of car they drive, the G-Wagon, um, middle class, upper middle class, um, what they do for work, probably a business owner, accounting, whatever is in that upper middle class level, but they're making good money. And location, for example, um, New York, Manhattan, the northeast New England type of rich people, like in Boston. Um, you know, and then as far as like Europe as well, it's got that Europe vibe. People in England, Italy, um, Italy for sure. So like I know where they live, the location, and everything. Like I know my perfect character that I'm targeting, and I didn't have that before, bro. I didn't. So that was the mistake I made, right? Like I first started off, it kind of had that vibe. Like I kind of knew who I was targeting, but not really. I didn't know what I was doing. I just slapped down a cool logo and a cool tree design on the back that had a cool meaning, and the name had a cool meaning, the name of the brand. And I was kind of targeting like those alt XXTentacion type of people. Um, and then my next uh, drop after that was more of like a hippie groovy type of vibe. You know what I mean? So that's a little bit different. That's a little bit different. So that's another thing. Make sure you keep your drops consistent. Make sure you keep your aesthetic consistent. Don't switch it up. Don't switch up your target audience. Keep it consistent. That's another thing I did wrong because I didn't know my target audience from the start. It was like a mix of hippie, spiritual, and then all XXTentacion type of vibe. Spirituality kind of mixes with it because X was spiritual, but it was like two different vibes. One was like more groovy, and the other one was like more a little bit dark type of vibe. So that's where I messed up. Like my next two drops were more spiritual, groovy type, bubbly type of logos. It was different. I wasn't using the tree anymore. The font was different. It was more bubbly vibes versus like the metallic, grunge, rock star type of font. You know what I mean? So you gotta keep it consistent, and your brand has to have that consistency in every drop. Like every drop has like your that one thing that you're known for. Like my new brand is gonna be known for the curved sword. It's like kind of like that Middle Eastern Arabian sword, and a guy on a horse holding that sword is always gonna have that sword in there, that curved sword. It's also in my initial logo, the SK. The sword is in the K. Like that's gonna be in every piece. There's gonna be that consistency when you see it. Oh, that's Salar Kareem. That's Salar. That's SK right there. You know what I mean? And I was missing that. And the name was really long. It was perfectly imperfect. Very long. Now it could be the full thing is Salar Kareem, or I could just use Salar, or I could just use the initials SK. So it's very versatile now. Before it wasn't versatile. Like I couldn't go so many different routes when it comes to designs and logos and all that, but now I can. So what I just went over, that included like a few mistakes I made. So like there isn't like individual 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mistakes I made. I'm just talking, and I'm just spitting game. So when you're starting off a brand, make sure you don't make these mistakes, and these are crucial, bro. Also, I'm gonna touch on this a little bit. Make sure you have a job, something that's bringing in a consistent income that you can consistently reinvest back into your brand to continue to grow it, to continue to outsource a designer or whatever it might be, a photographer, a model, ads. You know what I mean? So make sure you have a good job, a decent job, where at the end of every month you can take some of that money and invest it into your business. Because at the end of the day, it takes money to make money, and you gotta make sure before you even start, you have a good job and you have money saved up. Okay, that is key. That's another. I wouldn't say mistake because I did have money saved up. I just didn't have a good I didn't have a good consistent cash flow coming in. I wasn't making that much money at my job, to be honest. I wasn't making much. I just saved up a lot, but I didn't have consistent cash flow coming in. So there's another mistake I made. Make sure you have consistent cash flow coming in by having a good job, a decent job. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like a great freaking job because most of you are probably young, but you can get a decent job. So yeah, make sure you have consistent cash flow coming in so you can invest into the business. I didn't have that, so what happened? I ran out of cash flow. I started losing money. I broke even on my first drop, and then from the mistakes I was making, whether it was burning shirts, buying ink, buying stuff for the machine, buying cleaning supplies for the screens and stuff, I was losing money here and there. Another mistake, I wasn't keeping track of what I'm spending, money coming in and money going out. I didn't have that business mindset. I was too lazy to keep track of money. I was too lazy to focus on the business aspect of it. I just enjoy the creative part of it. And that's most of you guys. Most of you guys starting a clothing brand because you enjoy expressing your creativity. But you gotta learn the business side. And that's where I messed up. So make sure you have consistent cash flow coming in. Make sure you keep track of money coming in, money going out. I wasn't. First drop was break even. Next two drops I was losing money. And then I ended up I started with like 3K, and I ended up on my last drop only having $500 left. You tell me, did I lose money? Yes, I did. And that's kind of when I got to that point a year later. So it was a whole year of learning everything and a whole year of like selling. And then after that full year, December 2022, I want to say, that's kind of when I had to drop everything. I kind of lost interest in it a little bit. I was like, man, this is not worth it anymore. The only reason why I felt that way, where I wanted to give up, because I was doing it the wrong way from the start. And most people who start their clothing brand, they end up giving up on it. I had those thoughts. I didn't give up on it. I just took a break from it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn from my mistakes. I'm gonna go learn a valuable skill, make a lot of money from that, save up a lot of money, and then come back and do the clothing brand game, the fashion game, the right way this time. Pay for a mentor. You know what I mean? Have good money saved up, and do all the mistakes I just went over. Make sure I don't do any of those. And that's what I'm in the middle of right now, rebranding. You know what I mean? So that was a major one. So when I ran out of capital, I only had $500 left. That's when I took a step back. When I took a step back, that's when I was also doing pop-up shops. That towards the end, that's where most of my money was coming from. So pop-up shops are a great way to make money if you're not getting online sales. So I think most of you guys should know that. But if you don't, that's a great tip right there, for sure. But yeah, that's December 2022. That's when it kind of took a break from it. Got into sales. And that's when I got like that consistent cash flow coming in, like I told you guys about. and I have that now. So this time around, I'm coming into it the right way. Oh, another major thing. This is major. If you guys are still here, this is major. So I tried running Facebook ads, and my ads account got restricted right away. And the mistake I made, the reason why I got restricted is because I used a brand new Facebook account. Make sure you use an old, aged Facebook account to run your ads. If you make a new one, make a new page, new profile, and try to use that to run ads, you're getting banned. So if I had that, I would have made more money selling online. Facebook ads is where it's at. That's how you get consistent revenue. That's how you have consistent like 10, 30, 50K months, even 100K months, or it just depends how much you put into ads. That's how you get consistent sales, is running ads, and I couldn't do that. I did TikTok ads. That's what helped me break even with my first drop, so that was good. But yeah, make sure when you open up a Facebook account to run ads, make sure you use an old account. You can use your parents' account or something, your grandma, older brother. Make sure you've had their account for like a few years at least. That's a major one, boys and girls, if you're watching. That's when I took a step back when I was out of cash flow. And that's when also, like, here and there I would work on it sometimes or watch YouTube videos or whatever it might be. And I slowly started to think of new names. As ideas would pop up into my head as I was saving up money and learning new skills. I'll just write it down, different hoodie designs, ideas, different names. And that's how I came up with my name now. That's how I came up with the collection I'm dropping in October, November. So take a step back. If things are going wrong right now, take a step back. See what you're doing wrong. Take a break. Save up more money. Learn new skills. Maybe just learn more about how to run a successful clothing brand. Take a step back, and then you'll realize a lot. You'll learn a lot, and then come back to it and crush it this time. Go, take a minor step back for a major comeback. That's the journey I'm on right now, and I'm sharing it with you guys. But I'm just going off the dome. I didn't write any of this down. But I think that's pretty much everything as far as like the mistakes I made and my process of rebranding, making sure I don't make those same mistakes. And yeah, as far as my rebranding journey, I can document that for you guys. I'm kind of like some parts I've already started and I haven't documented it for you guys, but I can pick up where I'm at right now. But I've done like the name, my collection I'm dropping, the sketches, the designs, the logos, finding a designer, the whole process of that, and I got my designs all made. Right now I'm working on the tech packs. That's the process I'm on. And when I got back into it, I paid for a mentor. So now I have access to people that I can learn from and ask them questions whenever I'm stuck. So that's another major one. Invest into a mentor before starting if you can. That will help you out a lot. And that's another thing I'm doing different this time. But yeah. Also, you can follow along on my Instagram and TikTok, because on TikTok I'll be posting daily progress videos, and then on my Instagram I'll be posting stories to keep y'all updated. And then yeah, soon in the description I'll have links to sign up for Shopify for $1 a month. I'll have that down there for you guys. I'll have my Twitter, Instagram. I'll have everything down there for you guys to stay up to date with me with my journey. Yeah, feel free to leave a comment, whatever you guys need help with. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. But yeah, I'll catch you on the next video. It feels good, man, to start making videos again, because I first started making videos when I was in like elementary school, something I've always had a passion for. I would always come back to it. Never been fully consistent with it, but I love making content and talking to you guys, building a connection with you guys, and helping people out. And I'm happy to be back, and we're back better than ever this time. And we're gonna stay consistent. We got big goals, big dreams, a whole roadmap that we have set out, list of goals that we're gonna achieve, and we're gonna do this together. I want you to do the same thing.